Some crazy stuff happened this week.
Dude, some shit went down. Welcome back, you guys. Another episode of Friends First. We're officially over 2 months deep in this mission of ours, which is crazy. And today we have our first guest. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can already see she's sitting here. This is Mahna. I am currently with her in her home in DC. And we have a lot of things that we're going to talk about. And also her and Mariah met for like the last 30 minutes while we try and get everything set up.
Hello, I'm so excited to get to talk with you. I've heard so much about you. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
And I've kind of given Mahna the lowdown of this is just to say whatever. There is no plan. We do whatever kind of podcast. So
this is not a planned podcast.
No, not at all. And for the listeners, Mahna is a fellow traveler, photographer, content creator, all of that stuff. So that's how we met. That's why she's here, because she's got a lot of crazy stories, just like the rest of us. So
heck yeah.
I'm
excited.
But anyway, Mariah, how was your week? I haven't talked to you in so long. It's crazy.
I know, we have so much to catch up on. I'm really glad that you're letting me go first, because I do kind of know how your last week has been, and I don't want you to start with your big great adventures and then me follow up with like wah. So I'm glad I'm going first.
Whatever. I know things happen in your life that are going to shock me. I mean, and like I said when we first got on, your hair is a different color.
My hair is a different color. So I went back and forth like 10 times on what I was going to do. I finally narrowed it down to like 3 pictures, had everyone I know vote. And I finally just went in and got it done, hated it, and then dyed it purple myself, and then it faded instantly. And now I'm kind of all over the place. It's just like purpley blonde. So
I did not realize that you just changed your mind and dyed it yourself.
I sure did.
Mahna literally went through a hair transformation today.
Yeah, I literally put my hair into braids and then chopped off like a quarter of it, I think.
Yeah. You do fit in well with that.
I feel you.
I love that. It looks really cute.
Thank you.
I'll
just do it. It's fine.
I paid a good chunk to go get my hair done. Hated it. And then like immediately went to Target and bought like an $8 box of purple stuff. So
DIY.
I feel you.
That's where we all are in life. It's fine.
Yeah. So I did dye my hair. This last week, I've actually done so much, and you're going to be so proud of me.
Sign me up.
I think
Tell me about it.
You kind of already probably know. So
I have no clue what you've been doing.
I know. Well, I posted pictures like only on Facebook, but like you post stuff all the time, and I feel like I try to hype you up. You did not comment on my shit. You did not.
Dude, I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
Oh my God, you're gonna be. Okay, just. Oh, is your phone recording?
Yes.
Oh shit! So you can't even look. Okay, so I went camping in the Badlands.
Yes. Okay. I saw the TikTok that you made on our podcast TikTok. That was funny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was a good one.
But we took some pictures, so I think that they turned out all right.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at them because I did not see them.
Camping.
I channeled my inner Nikki a little bit.
Oh, it's fun.
Look at that. Mahna's been to the Badlands.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love it there.
Yay. Yeah. We had so much fun. So we camped like in the park, which was really cool. And then I did a ton of hiking. So we went camping together. It was amazing. We took some fun pictures, which was really cool. And then I got back home Tuesday afternoon, worked like 6 hours, and then super early Wednesday morning I flew to Chicago.
Jeez Louise, dude.
I was like and I took really cool pictures in the Badlands, and I was like, basically, let's just call me a travel influencer now.
You are. You know what? You went
queen.
out, you had an adventure, you took photos, and then you hopped on a plane. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I fit in. And then we spent a week in Chicago. It was kind of rainy while we were there, so we didn't do anything big and crazy, but we went to the Museum of Illusions.
Was it actually good? Because I remember the last time you went to Chicago, you said all the museums sucked.
Well, that was like educational museums because we were trying to be like knowledge queens. This time we were just there for fun.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I went to this museum of illusions. It was pretty cool. Has like obviously optical illusions.
Whoa.
And then we did some intense thrifting. We like went hard with the thrifting. It was so fun.
Yes. That's all I
Yeah.
ever want to do in life is thrift.
I want to be better at that. I feel like people find the cutest things, and like whenever I go, it's just like I can't. Like, I
Yeah.
think I need more patience.
Yeah, no, it is like a patience game, and Mariah's so good at it. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
She literally finds like a couple $100 pairs of shoes for
No
like
way.
$1. Yeah. Like, what was the last thing you sent me? They were like super expensive. You sent me something.
So actually, the weekend before, I was in North Dakota. So I actually went to 3 destinations in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Girl, look at her. It's you.
So I was up in North Dakota and I was walking in a thrift store, and from far away, I saw these flats and I was like, I just have this weird sixth sense where I'm like, that's designer. I can tell, or that's like a little more high end. So I went over there and they were Tory Burch flats and they were only $3.
Oh, I don't know Tory Burch. I don't know what that means, but like, I believe you. I believe
okay,
you.
It's expensive. Yeah. So anyways, my mom was so jealous. She was like, oh my God, whatever. This weekend in Chicago, I found a pair of Tory Burch flats for $1. One up to myself.
What?
Yeah. Do they fit, or are you just gonna sell
them? The first pair fit. They're mine. They're my favorite shoes. And the second ones I'm just gonna sell.
Ooh,
that's
girl.
amazing.
I saw this TikTok this week. I wish I could remember who had posted it, but it was like, pro tip: find everything that you want in the thrift store and then find enough stuff to resell that you pay for everything that you purchased. So those one pair of Tory Burch flats probably paid for my whole weekend of thrifting.
Wow.
Which is awesome. We found and then my second best find, my nephew was with, and we found him a brand new Patagonia jacket. I need you guys to guess the price.
$2.
5?
Nikki, it's gonna sound like you stalked me because it was $2.
Oh,
no, that's crazy. I like found a Patagonia or like a REI or something jacket once for like $12, and I was like, this is a steal.
Yeah.
And like,
that's amazing.
but to find something for $2
and like the vintage styles too, like some of them are so cute that they don't make anymore.
Yeah, and it's not even vintage. It's like brand new, which I am I love vintage Patagonia, but it's brand new. Like,
and
you
especially
can tell
for a
it's
kid,
never been
because
worn.
kid stuff is so expensive.
Yeah, we also found him like little baby Guess jeans and like a little Timberland outfit. So exciting.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Man, you on a thrifting journey.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I've only spent money on plane tickets, which isn't bad, but sometimes I want clothes.
Yeah.
I want to get brave enough to like travel full time, do like van life, but like thrift my way through it. That's like my ultimate goal and dream.
I feel like I follow a girl that does that.
Yes. I was just thinking that.
She was like based out of California.
Canadian? Oh, okay.
No.
I'm sure
there's a couple apparently.
I'm sure. Yeah. Send me their stuff.
Yeah.
I need to be their new best friends.
No, I need to find it because she's actually really entertaining. She's actually one of the people who made a post. Oh, when I talk to people all the time about how I don't want kids, she's the one who made the post that was like, if you like, her belief is if like you don't feel that you 100% were meant to be a parent, you shouldn't be a parent. Is like, and I was like, she made that post and I was like, wow, you just blew my mind.
Whoa.
But yeah, she's like that kind of level, but she thrifts her way through like SoCal and lives in a van and like has a snake that's like got a really silly name.
Oh,
I want to be her, but I don't want a snake. Also, big time agree on the parenting. My nephew, he's like a year and a half old, a little over. He spent the last 2 nights at my house. I adore him with every inch of my being. And I am like so glad I'm an aunt and not a parent.
Oh yeah. Every time I'm around children, I'm like,
There was like a solid few minutes this morning though, where I was like, oh God, I need to have a baby. he woke up and he came over, crawled up on my bed, and he like laid his head on my chest and was just staring at me, smiling. And then he reached up and put his hand on my cheek, and I was like, oh my God, I need one.
Babies.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then, you know, he leaves and your dog just does the same thing anyway.
Oh yeah. My dog loves me more than a child ever could, so I'm good.
No, really, I'm like
I'm
literally
good.
on the phone with her and her dog is like on her face.
Oh,
Yeah.
what kind of dog do you have?
She's a Pekingese poodle mix, so they call it a
Oh.
peekapoo.
Oh, fun.
She's like probably a little smaller than your sister's dog from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
She's super cute.
She's super cute. She's eating dinner right now, but I'm sure she'll come up and make a guest appearance.
Oh.
Yeah. She's so cute. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
So that's kind of my week in a nutshell. Chicago was great. My only regret is that I didn't have any deep dish pizza on this trip.
What? Oh,
I
I
know.
mean, I guess if are you doing your allergens thing?
I am, but I did have a Chicago dog because you can't not.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta pick
Obviously.
pizza or dog. You pick the dog.
Mhm.
So.
Like I feel like if you're allergic to a Chicago dog anywhere else, like you're gonna get sick. But I ate a Chicago dog in Chicago, so it didn't really count.
Okay, yeah, facts.
Yeah.
You
What's
know,
a Chicago dog?
I would. It's kind of like I would assume it's like the deep dish pizza where it's like just specific to Chicago.
Like it's a hot
hot dog,
from Chicago?
and it has like, okay, don't quote me, but it has like, it's like a hot dog with like a pickle spear and like hot peppers, kind of like pepperoncinis, and like onions on it.
It sounds like a lot of vinegary stuff. Which
Yeah.
sounds like my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sounds
it's
amazing.
okay,
fantastic.
cool. That's worth it. That's worth potentially getting sick. So
Yeah,
you're doing great.
It was so worth it. So good. How was your week? How was your guys' week?
Yeah. So basic week, at least for me. I just got here back to Mana, in DC. We flew back from Europe like a couple of days apart from each other last week. I don't
Was
even
it
know.
last week? It was last week.
Last week.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I stayed the night here, got on another plane and went and met my friend Crosby, which hopefully will be on another episode in West Virginia. And I spent the last 5 days with her. And now I'm back here with Mana and we are hopping on a plane tomorrow morning to New England for fall colors.
Yes. I'm obsessed with fall. I keep sending Nikki updates of fall foliage and she's like, I don't care about it.
Like, I hate fall. Like, makes me sad that we're losing like warmth. And I have to deal with layers, but I am like West Virginia has slightly changed my mind about the excitement for fall colors because it is beautiful, but I'm still a little bit like we're gonna freeze our asses off and I'm not here for it.
The leaves are so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That sounds awesome. Do you understand, everyone, why I needed to go first? Just casually dropping like, oh, Europe, and now we're going to New England.
So funny.
Casual.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at least we're not saying it without like recognizing that it doesn't make sense to us either.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every moment of it, I'm like, this is not a real life thing. Like,
No. And
I
we've
love
spent
that so
plenty of
much, you
time.
guys.
Yeah, we've spent plenty of time together like in Europe for like the last 6 weeks that I was there. And pretty much the only sentences we said to each other was like, who are we? What is life?
Is this real life?
How did we get here? This is not real.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Like all moments of the day. Day and night.
it doesn't sound real to you. It doesn't seem real to us.
Mhm.
So
I agree. So there's kind of been this thing the last, a couple times. Like I'll be watching TikTok and I'll send TikToks to Nikki and she'll be like, oh, I know them from blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, rude, because these people don't seem like real people.
Yeah.
So like, how do you know them? Because that's really weird.
Yeah, that's what's been crazy is like creators are like friends now and like we're creators, which is like so weird.
it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like we were at dinner one of the nights in the Dolomites. We like went on this hike and then the other people there that we had started talking to, like we went to exchange socials as you do with people that you like make friends with.
Yeah.
And they were
Mhm.
already following us. And then
Dude,
after
what?
that, they were like, oh, do you know this person? Do you know that person? I was like, yeah, they're my friend. They were like, what? And I too, I was like, what? Like,
Yeah,
what
it's
is
so
life?
weird.
Like,
Literally the first time that happened to me was in Hawaii and like I was in a group of people and we were all doing the slip and slide on the beach and then like this one girl was like, oh, I really want to follow you, and like she pulls out her phone. I was like, oh, this is my at, and she goes, oh my God, I already follow you. And I was like, what? And at the time, like I had like 6,000 followers. So I was like, what do you mean you already follow me? Like, it was so weird.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
so crazy.
yeah, it's the weirdest experience. But like, and then, that happens. Like I've had that happen where I'm like, oh, I already follow you. And now I'm like standing in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. But
That's really
yeah.
weird. So there was this time where I was like binging someone's like TikTok as you do when you're like scrolling and you're like, oh, I like this video. I need to watch every fucking thing they've ever made. I sent Nikki a couple of their TikToks, and then I like closed that and opened up Instagram and looked at Nikki's story, and she was with the person that I had just sent her all these TikToks. And I was like,
way.
what the hell? I literally got almost shit myself because I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was so weird.
And I don't think I saw, like, I don't know if you even sent me a message saying like, wow, I just sent you all of those or anything. And like, I just realized you're with that person. Like, I think I responded back before she even said anything. It was like, oh yeah, that's who I'm traveling with.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was so weird.
It was so
That's
weird.
next level.
And it's weird because like, I don't think of Nikki as like, I don't know, like when she has like, when I see your TikToks have a lot of views, I'm like, oh, that's a fluke.
Literally. I mean, I say the same thing. It's like, I don't.
I'm like, oh, she got lucky again. Oh, she got lucky again. I like don't think
Yeah.
oh, it's because she's good at what she does and she's successful. I just think of her as like a normal human. If that makes
That's what it feels like. But even Anna, like my sister-in-law, even said to me, like, after I went on that cruise and like did all that stuff for the cruise line and everything, and I came home and I started like just posting more silly stuff and like kind of being a little bit more true to myself. She goes, yeah, now I feel like you're somebody that like I want to watch. Like before it was like kind of sterile. And like, which is, she was not wrong, you guys, she's not wrong. Like that was like one of those things where I was like, now it's weird when I put stuff out there and it does well, because I'm like, oh, now people know I'm like a human.
Yeah.
Like
it's like a little bit of emotion.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh no, what do I do now? And then I'm like, who cares? Throw something else up on the internet. I don't know anymore.
It's just my lasting legacy. It's
like, yeah, literally trash diaries are becoming my brand.
Literally like watch back on some of the videos and it's like trash diaries episode this, and like we're like walking in the rain in Switzerland. It's like, what is life like?
Yeah, literally like, I'm like, what are we doing? Like nothing makes sense anymore. Oh, there she is.
Oh,
there's the doggo.
Oh,
so you guys said that you hung out some in Europe, right?
Yes, in
What'd you
multiple
guys-
places.
Multiple places.
Yes.
I feel like I stalk you well, but like I also don't really. So share that a little bit. Give me the deets. What'd you guys do?
You want to give a breakdown of what we did?
let's see, where did we start? We started in Switzerland.
Yes, that's where we met up the first time.
Yes.
In Europe, met up the first time because we had met each other prior to that. But
we lived in Denver at the same time. And then
cool.
I moved to Hawaii and you visited Hawaii.
Yeah. So we met in Hawaii, like actually met in Hawaii for the first time, because we didn't meet at all while we both lived in Denver.
Because it was like COVID and it was weird and it was like,
yeah,
are we gonna die? Like, are
we gonna get shamed for like having friends?
Yeah.
Like it was all of that. So yeah, we met in Hawaii, and then this trip it was like we met in Switzerland.
Epic places only.
Oh my, yeah, literally it's like,
right.
Who do we think we are?
We were in a van with 7 people at one point. It was a wild adventure.
I don't know how we did that still to this day.
We like made it work though, which is crazy. Like looking back, I'm like 7 people in a van.
7, and it's crazy because it was like you and I were like traveling Europe for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Marissa was there. She was traveling Europe for like 2 months. So we all had enough, like Marissa had the smallest amount of bags. She had like a bag. I had 2 bags. You had 3 bags, like smaller bags, but 3. And then like Carly and Colin had been traveling for 60 days, 10 different countries, from tropical to like Iceland. So they literally had like bags on bags on bags. And then Steven and Giselle had cold, like, so they basically were cold for like 2.5 weeks. So they also had a bunch of stuff. And we were in a like RV that was meant for 5 people. with 7 of us and all of our stuff and our camera gear.
I'm so surprised we made that happen and like everyone was nice to each other.
Yeah.
Civil.
I literally don't know how we did it either.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So you guys have only been fantastic places together. Is it weird being at her house right now, like being normal-ish together?
Yeah.
We don't know what to do.
No, we don't. We basically just look at each other all the time and we're like, are we gonna cry? Are we gonna cry right now?
Cry? Why would you cry? Is it hard being normal?
Pasta earlier. This is why life sucks.
No, yeah, literally Mana was like, so how are you? And I was like, well, I had 2 mental breakdowns in Crosby's RV and like I don't like to be here. And then I was like, how was your day? And she's like, I cried for 5 days. It's like, great.
Oh no.
We literally don't know how to exist in a normal place.
Well, I think it's because like after you come off of like, can you hear us?
Oh god.
Your dog wants to be part of the interview so bad.
I know, she's like needs to chill right now. So crying over pasta?
Oh, well, so like this is, I feel like after you experience like such highs of like hiking in Switzerland and like really beautiful places, it's like after that there's like a little bit of a crash, which like helps you appreciate the highs. It's something I'm trying to like come to terms with, but also like you experience such a low after such highs.
Yeah, and then it starts to feel like the highs weren't real. So, or like that they're not something you can find again.
Yeah.
So it becomes a lot of like this imposter syndrome and like it just feels like, and then you come home and it's like nothing has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like I'll get home to you next week and I'm going to be like, okay, my brother's
It's gonna
still
feel
doing
like the
this
best thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, like seeing you is going to be great. But you know, like when I come home and my cats are doing the same 10 things they always do. And like my mom's doing the same 10 things she, you know, like not that it's bad, but it's just like when you travel so much and you have like a new high every day, like hiking a different mountain every day, getting drunk in a different city the next day, like doing X, Y, and Z every day. And then you come home and it's like you live the same 5 days for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you think you get like addicted to the newness?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like it's hard to be
So interesting.
still.
And also like through all that new, you like grow and experience and change so much. So like you feel totally different, but then come back and it's like totally still. Like it's like time stopped here, but you went at like a faster speed. So it feels like you're literally not aligned or like grounded anymore.
Yeah, like at all. And then it's like,
So interesting.
now I'm to the point where like if I don't know where I'm going next before I go home, I start to panic.
Yeah.
Like it like turns into this like whole thing. And like, you know, Mana's been home now. So like she came back from Europe, she's home. We're like, now I'm like, okay, I had this buffer. I went to Crosby and I got excited about that. Now I'm here and we're going to do this New England thing and I'm excited. But I also know that, like on the other side of that is like me flying to Denver and then having to drive 6 hours home. And it's like, that's going to feel like, because I've done it like a million times,
Mhm.
I know I'm going to be like, ugh. Like, but yeah, that's basically what
crazy.
happens when you travel.
I can feel that on the tiniest level because I've traveled way more this year than I ever have before. And even just like North Dakota, kind of lame, Badlands, amazing, but an hour from my house. So
But like, how did you feel when we got done with our road trip? Like when we got home?
oh yeah, like so excited, like ready to go, like instant fucking depression.
Yeah.
Post-trip depression. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even Chicago, I've been there before, but I still like we weren't even at the airport and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I don't have a trip coming up. Like this sucks.
Yeah.
So on a tiny level, I can kind of feel that, relate. I've never traveled internationally though, which is crazy.
Ooh,
Where do you want to go? Where's at the top of your list?
So for the last like however long, I envisioned my first trip being Ireland with Nikki, but she did it without me.
Well, you can still go.
I still would go with you again because there's so much Ireland I did not see. And Mana's never been either.
Ireland seems so cool. Like I didn't know there
It's
was so much
amazing.
in Ireland. Like I just thought it was
Oh
the
my God.
cliffs and like that's it.
No.
But like that looks epic alone. But like I didn't know there was so much more.
I didn't make a dent. I made a dent in the beer, but like, I didn't, like
That's so funny.
I didn't make a
Anything
dent in like the landscape or like hiking or like anything outside of the alcohol.
No, if there were like I would rather go somewhere that you've never been. So it'd be like a totally new experience for us both, preferably.
Scotland.
Oh, Scotland
Scotland,
looks
yeah.
cool too.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
I want to go to Scotland so bad. I'm like, let me go now.
But I also really want to go to like Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just opened up their borders too after so long.
I didn't realize they were still
They
closed.
just opened up.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what they were doing.
Whoa. There's gonna be so many people going there. You just watch. You watch the internet. We're gonna see it all. It's gonna be Japan on every influencers.
I'm dying to go for cherry blossoms. Like I love the cherry blossoms in the spring. I'm a big one for like trees doing things.
Oh yes, I've always wanted to do that.
Actually, it's like I love fall and I love cherry blossoms, and I'm like,
sometimes
I'm literally like, a fall can just not because winter sucks, and cherry blossoms smell like butt to me. So like I'm like,
I've never smelled that.
you can't smell. You literally can smell them like as soon as they start. They smell so bad. I remember the first time I was around one, I was like, who ripped ass? Like I was like, why does it smell like that? And I'm wandering around. I think it was like South Carolina, and I'm like wandering around. I'm like, does nobody else smell the trash smell? And then finally somebody looked at me and was like, literally was like, oh, it's the trees. And I was like, oh, great.
It's the trees blooming.
And I'm like, never again, no more cherry blossoms.
So don't go to Japan for cherry blossoms.
I mean, I still want to see it. I'd go, but
you'll be there just because
you know what? I feel like that's like a vehicle for me to like go to Thailand or something, like or Bali.
So I'm on the side of TikTok that's like cheap travel, and I just watched someone's trip to like Portugal, and I was like, oh, that's really fucking interesting. I would love to.
That's
do
what I
that
just
too.
was.
Portugal is sick.
It's amazing.
Okay, so Mana, would you consider yourself a picky eater at all?
No, I love food. I love all food.
That's like my biggest fear is like going somewhere and like having a hard time finding anything that I would eat.
That was always like my biggest fear before I started traveling internationally. But like, I guarantee you, there's always a McDonald's somewhere. Yes. There's always some place with chips. There's like, everywhere has French fries.
Yeah. Everywhere. Like, potatoes all over.
Yeah, there are potatoes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, so it's possible. And there's always pizza.
Places like Switzerland, only potatoes.
Only potatoes.
Which we didn't know.
Literally, after Switzerland, I was like, no more fucking roasties. Which is basically a giant hash brown.
For 23 Swiss franc.
Which is
$$.
$23. $23 for a giant hash brown.
Potatoes.
Like, but potatoes everywhere. You would be surprised at how much food you can find.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just don't really like seafood. So
Portugal is all the seafood.
Yeah, but I feel like I ended up finding like some good stuff after a while.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to figure it out, but I think I was also doing a really bad job looking for food.
They have really good wine and cheese there too, which like
true. Oh, I do like wine and cheese.
True.
Yeah,
true.
It's really good.
Okay. We have like maybe 8 minutes left on this, and I really quickly want to touch on Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to. Also, we didn't do an ick, so think of an ick.
Yes, maybe we can think of an
in
ick
Oktoberfest. Okay, ready, set, go.
How would you describe our Oktoberfest experience?
Oh my gosh, beautiful lederhosen and lots of beer and laps.
True. Mana and I were so happy at Oktoberfest, Mariah.
It was magical in so many ways. Just one way.
Yeah. Men in lederhosen, for whatever reason, is really attractive.
I don't know what that is at all.
Like the traditional like garb you would see people in for Oktoberfest. It's like
those little overalls.
Yeah, with like the leather shorts, like the leather shorts with overalls, and they have like kind of plants or vines designed on them. And then the girls wear like the aprons, and like their boobs are out. Like, so our friend Polly brought us how do you say that? Drindle is what they're called. And so we squeezed into those from when she was 16.
Literally 16.
Could not breathe all night, but we wore them. And apparently, like, where you wear your bow, you tie your bow, signals people like, I'm taken, what is the middle one?
I'm open to everything.
Open to everything if you wear it in the middle, and left is your single. And then in the back, if you wear it in the back, you're like a widow. So like all night you could just like read everybody's everything. So it was like really interesting. I was like, there's so much that goes into this that I didn't know.
Fascinating.
So much.
Yeah. And people, Mariah, there is a standard to this too. Because there were people there, like they were gonna be performing next to Taylor Swift 1989 on tour, like dressed with these outfits. Like they were like you could tell they had spent thousands of dollars on these outfits.
So fashionable and like completely done up. Like apparently some of it is like a fashion show too. Like people go all out.
It is crazy. And then you just get smashed
On beer.
like, and you're standing on tables. Like literally we were just standing on tables with people like, like throwing our bodies.
These little benches that like if one person on the other side gets off, like literally that happened to me one time. Like some of our friends had come to introduce another friend, and it was like this was like a beer and a half, which with a liter of beer,
It's like, literally bigger than your head. Like it's huge.
Yeah, I was like, and it was like first two, I was trying to be nice.
Oh my
The
gosh.
literally guy that walks up Mariah is German, tall, gorgeous,
Beautiful.
and both Mana and I like clocked him. We were like,
As I step over it, the bench like falls downwards. I fall into him, and I'm like, just
get your arms around him.
What
yeah.
a blessing.
I was like, well played, Mana, well played.
I am so happy for you.
beautiful.
It's
So
funny.
many, like literally, like I've never seen such a high concentration of like beautiful people
Yeah.
in one place.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
My ick of the week.
Oh.
I've never gotten to fall on an extremely attractive human being before. That is so icky.
Strongly recommend.
Okay.
Maybe first trip Oktoberfest.
yeah. We are saying that we want to go back to Oktoberfest
Yes.
every year. So
Good.
like,
So if I come
Put
with,
that in the
will you
calendar.
guys stand on the other side of a bench, and then like when I give you a signal, you'll purposely jump off and let me fall on someone?
yes, facts.
I love you guys.
Facts. Yes.
Guaranteed.
We will do all the setting up. We literally, I taught Mana how to flirt.
She did. Just got out of a long-term relationship. I was like, Nikki, cue me. And literally she was like cueing both of us.
I'm not joking, Mariah. Like, I literally was sitting there like, I was like, okay, you have to make intense eye contact, but hold it for just a little bit longer than normal, and then look away.
And then she's like, lean in now.
Yeah, like just now. Okay, now you touch him. Like I'm like literally whispering in her ear. I'm like, because everybody's yelling and like screaming and dancing. So like I would just like lean over and be like, now's the time. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure like he could hear it too, because he was like right next to me, but it was perfect because it gave him the confidence that like I was interested.
It was gold.
It was
I
beautiful.
love that. Have you seen the movie Aquamarine with the mermaid?
Yes.
I think so.
Where they like read all the news, or where they read like all like the teen magazine advice, where they're like, fluff your hair, and then I don't even remember the name. Where they
That's
give all,
literally
like,
what I did.
corny
That's what's
advice.
happening.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cute. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I don't like, I was like, I don't know who I think I am. Like, I have to think about this. I haven't been single. And like, I also coming off of a long-term relationship. I'm like, how do I flirt? Like, how do I command attention? Like, cause I used to be able to just like walk into a bar and get drinks. And I'm like, how did I do that? So I like had to think about it. And then I'm in there like, okay, Mana,
Like, cueing me.
just do this.
Yeah. It worked.
It was perfection.
Guaranteed results.
I'm
So cute.
trying to think of something that like we saw that was so icky at Oktoberfest, but all the German men were so not icky. I don't know. I would say like the guy that like you thought was cute and then just ended up being so involved in his phone you couldn't even pretend to get his attention.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty icky.
Apparently he was a TikTok
phone
star
at the
or
bar?
something.
We were like standing like literally in the middle of Oktoberfest. Mana and I like fought our way to the center so that we could have a good spot. And then like this guy was cute and we both were like just even trying to talk to him and he was like not having it and he was on his phone like the whole time. And then like his friend ended up like Mana ended up flirting with his friend. His friend was like, yeah, he's like an Instagram star and like he's like so like meh.
Like super into himself, and we were like,
And we're like,
Okay.
yeah, we do that too, but we can put our phones down and
Yeah.
be humans. Like
yeah.
it was so
Turn
weird.
off.
That was
That's a
icky.
big ick.
Yeah, that was icky for
Mhm.
me. Like
Yeah,
not being able to
agreed.
pull away and be a human.
Agreed. Yeah.
Nikki and I have talked about kind of this like posting content is one thing, but if you don't enjoy the moment and the memories making the content, then what's the point?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So if you
totally.
so like you posted a picture of yourself at Oktoberfest, but you have no memories of being there. You didn't have like a good time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
or like,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh, we have
weird.
less than a minute.
Agreed.
Oh.
Agreed.
But I agree with all of that.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
really
Thank you
enjoyed
so much
having
for
you here.
having me.
We
This
have more
was so
stories, so I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah,
Good. I
love
hope
this.
so. I
I hope
loved
to
getting
visit
to
you
hear
guys
about your
too.
Yes, please come to South Dakota.
please. Yeah.
It'll be so much fun.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think you
Okay.
could find better South Dakota tour guides. So please, you're welcome.
Honestly.
Yay.
We'll show you all the places. But yeah, before this cuts us off, thanks for listening, guys at home. Do all of the subscribing and following and all of that good stuff, and check out Mahna's channels as well.
It's Mahna Travel.
Yes,
Mahna
Mahna Travel
everywhere.
Yes.
Ooh,
Love
love
you.
you. Good night.
Good night.